श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। सद्गुरु श्री साईनाथ निशरद बाबूजी की जय। Rose Petals, Volume 3, Chapter 3. Give the reins to Baba. Give the reins of the chariot of your life to the Sadguru and rest assured, rest happily. That is what Baba said. But we are not able to give the reins to Baba. Even when we give them, we will still be checking. If you're traveling by car at night and don't have confidence in the driver, you cannot sleep. You'll always be watching whether he is really steering well or how well he is operating the lights and gears. Like this, we'll be controlling the driver from the back seat. Oh, be careful. Go to the left. There, go to the right. We don't really trust. So it's true we can't give up the reins of our life so easily. Some experience of real trust should be there. We should know how competent the driver is. And for that, the initial stage is first finding a trustworthy driver. Then give him the responsibility and see how he acts, how he manages things. I say this to you again and again because our basic problem is not ignorance but helplessness. It's not wanting to know something like what moksha is that is actually troubling you. Is it troubling anybody? What is troubling you is your basic helplessness. That is your experience. And the one who gives you the help should have the knowledge and the power to steer your life and environment, your material circumstances, everything, your whole life, not simply giving discourses and lectures. He should have power coupled with knowledge. Devotee. Are you saying the real power comes from giving the reins to the driver? Guruji. Yes, because then you utilize the power of the driver. In that way, you enjoy his power. Devotee. Do we feel the power the moment we are aware of our helplessness? Guruji. In fact, it is not true that you are helpless only when you are aware of it. In other moments, you are also helpless, but you may be more consciously aware of it at one moment than another. And the more we are aware of our helplessness, the more we seek power and the more we seek help. Because we are so addicted to that state of helplessness, we don't even feel we are really helpless. That is the problem. The disease has become so chronic that it has become our natural state of health. For example, suppose a person who was born and grew up in a city like Mumbai receives an invitation from his relatives to attend a marriage happening in a distant village. After 20 or 25 years of living in the city, for the first time in his life he leaves Mumbai, goes to the village and attends the wedding. Afterwards, he is just walking in the fields, breathing the fresh air, the beautiful fresh air. But he experiences it as something odd, something strange, like smelling some peculiar odor. So he asks one of the farmers passing by, "What is this strange smell here?" And the farmer says, "It's fresh air." Baba said, "Give the reins to me, I will take you to your destination." You do not know how to control your life, so give the control to someone who can do it properly, who can steer you to your destination, not his destination. That is what Baba said. I will take you to your destination, whatever it is. Devotee. Why is it so difficult to give over the reins? It seems like one wants to and doesn't want to. I really feel that split. What to do about that? Guruji. Yes, it is difficult. Very difficult. The thing is, you have to realize more and more that you can't control it, that in fact you have no control. As long as we think we have control, we must keep on trying and trying until we totally give up. Devotee. But it seems we don't want to give up. Guruji. Then don't give up. Nobody is forcing you to give up. Nobody gives up because they want to. They do it because they cannot help it. There is no choice then. Devotee. It seems we try helplessly to be in control anyway, even though we aren't very successful. Guruji, all over the world, millions and millions of people are always trying, helplessly trying. I am asking you to try with help. That's the only difference. Devotee, Guruji, how can we become totally focused on Baba when we still have so many other pulls? Guruji, let Baba be the source of fulfillment for all your other pulls. They are not two things in opposition. I never say only to think of Baba and not to think of your health or other worldly concerns. Your present condition is that you are gripped by so many pulls. No problem. Don't see Baba in opposition to these pulls, but try to see him as a means of getting them fulfilled. That is what Baba said was his mission, to give blessings without discrimination to all. That is why he encouraged so many people to ask for whatever they needed. Devotee, why is it, Guruji, that we don't seek the help when we need it? It seems so foolish. Guruji, because you have been trained, especially in the West, not to seek help, to be independent, to think you must help yourselves. You are told, try to be this, try to do that, make your own choices, be determined, stick to your resolve. These kinds of things have been taught from nursery school onwards, so actually this is familiar. What is not familiar is asking for help. That is the problem. It's the principle of seeking help that you have to become familiar with. Devotee, one of the most difficult things to admit is that one doesn't know. Guruji, yes, to admit one's helplessness is very difficult. That is when the issue of choice comes. We think we choose the Sadguru, the choice is ours. Even here, we want to retain our individuality and think we can help at least to the extent of choosing our Sadguru. But what I am telling you is that even here you are experiencing your helplessness, that in fact you are really already chosen. Devotee, was that your own experience, Guruji? Guruji, yes, I haven't chosen Baba. I wasn't able to choose otherwise, that's all. I don't remember ever having chosen him. Devotee, it seems almost like this process of transformation is finding out more and more all the things I cannot do. Guruji, the more you realize that you cannot do, the more you will feel your helplessness. Then the more you seek help, the more the help will come. Then you'll appreciate and relish it. There are three things: seeking help, getting help, and when the help is given, how we relish and appreciate it. I have observed that many people are, I don't say ungrateful, but they don't have the capacity to appreciate the help when it is given. Ask for help honestly, sincerely from your heart, then let the Sadguru help you in his own way. Don't dictate to him, help me like this, don't help me like that. If you're really asking for his help, realize he knows how to help. That is really asking for help, when the asking is unconditional. The one who is helping you is doing it with unconditional love. So you should let him help you unconditionally and not put any conditions on him or the help given. But that is what people do. Not only you, many people do it. That is why in the last satsang, I told you about this dichotomy, this dilemma where something stops us from asking even though we are crying for help. I am saying, okay, cry for help, but when the help comes, take it. The one giving his hand is not expecting anything from you. Only out of love, out of unconditional love, is he trying to help you. Recognize that. Don't ascribe motives to his helping hand. Why is he helping me? Why? If I were in his position, I wouldn't help. So why should he help me? Something must be there. I'd better wait. First, let me know why he's helping, then I'll give my hand. So here we complicate ourselves and our life passes like this. But there isn't much time to play these games. Time is passing. So try to be rational, try to be practical, and rise to the occasion. Give him the chance to help you fully in whatever way he likes. Whether or not you like the way he is helping you, first give him the chance. And if you feel you are not being helped, then ask for some other helping hand. But coming to judgments without fully experiencing the help and this habit of always judging, take care of that. Baba said it very beautifully. The moment you step into this Dwarkamai, your karma is over. Now it is my responsibility. See how beautifully he said it. By stepping into the Dwarkamai, he means not physically stepping in, but becoming a child of Baba. And once you have fully given the reins to him, then it is his responsibility. If there is any karma, good or bad, he is responsible. Devotee. But it's got to be more than just words or philosophical concepts when we give our life to the Sadguru. Isn't it an act that comes from the heart? Guruji, it's not an act. It's a helpless emotional reflex. Once you say, Baba, now I don't have anything. I'm giving everything into your hands. You lead me. It's all in your hands. That emotional conviction, full conviction, that from that time on, whatever you do, it is his responsibility. Devotee. But that seems to be beyond my control. Is it something that happens through grace? Guruji. They are not two things, emotional response and grace. In fact, they are not opposed because the first, as I said, is a helpless reflex. Why you have that reflex may be due to grace. It can happen from both sides. It is the act of grace and our response to grace both. Devotee. So you say everyone should go to Baba and ask for their needs to be fulfilled? Guruji. I'm not saying everyone should go to Baba. He is the one I know. For me, he is synonymous with the real Guru who uses his power with unconditional love and compassion to help us reach our destination. And of the one I know, I speak. For those who haven't found a Sadguru, yes, I suggest here is one for sure. But I don't say he's the only one and everybody has to go to him. I don't believe in that. Devotee. Guruji, why didn't Sai Baba give philosophical teachings? Guruji. The point is, nobody expected such a thing from him. The moment they went to him, they saw his power and became aware of their helplessness. So they sought his help and they got it. And by getting his help, they got his message also. Every Leela, every incident, every miracle you see, every experience you read conveys a message. The message which some other saints have taught verbally. And those who approached them expected that. The moment they saw them, they said, teach us knowledge, teach us about Brahman and Atman. These kinds of questions. So the sages taught. But nobody felt a dearth that Sai Baba did not teach. They were so fulfilled, there was no need of that. Teaching is needed in order to get the experience of fulfillment and to remove our helplessness. When that was achieved spontaneously in Baba's presence, where was the need of any teaching? Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sadguru Shri Sainath Nisharat Babuji Ki Jai.